Now, what up, everybody? This is video 2 with me and Karma, and this topic is bullying. Now, I'm really very against bullying. I don't like it whatsoever. I feel like when people bully, it's a sign that of weakness against somebody, and against because nobody really can defend themselves and do something back. That's what I think. The floor is yours.
There's many types. There's different types of bullying too. You can get bullied in school, or there's internet bullying, which is known as cyberbullying. Both are very, very harsh to deal with. But let's go ahead and give these kids some advice that are gonna probably face some bullying in their life. When I was in high school, I was bullied every day. When people found out I was gay, it only made matters worse. And here recently, I was just a victim of cyberbullying. But there comes a time, though, where you have to realize that hatred is going to come and bullying is going to come in all shapes, sizes, and forms. It doesn't matter what it is, whether someone's looking at you, calling you ugly, or someone's looking at you, calling you fat. Or if you have a passion or dream and they're doubting you and telling you you're never going to make it, my best advice is always be yourself no matter what.
Yeah.
Sometimes bullying does lead to them putting their hands on you, and that honestly sucks. But my advice would be, if you can't fight back, I hate to say it, but just take it, you know what I mean? And then go, don't let them break you, though. Don't let them, if it happens at school, don't be afraid to go back. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what they want. People like that don't care. And I don't care what anybody says. A bully only bullies because something has happened in their life, in their own life, that has been bad, and they're just lashing out about it.
Yeah.
So they're taking their anger that they felt and their hurt that they felt and putting it on someone else, which isn't right. But I've been called some horrible things in my lifetime. People make fun of the gap in my teeth. People make fun of the way that I rap or the way I sing, the way I dress even. And obviously I do get made fun of for being gay. I get so many disrespectful words because of that, but I've learned to deal with it. I'm 26, and here I am, I'm an adult now. You can't tell me stuff that I haven't already heard. You know what I mean? So it's best to just pick yourself up no matter what, and continue walking with your head high. Don't let them break you. And for all the women out there that are heavy, meaning they're not skinny, or for anybody who has eating disorders or, self-esteem issues, period. At the end of the day, what matters is if you look in the mirror and if you're happy with yourself. If you're happy with you, then don't change just to please others. Because the way I see it is we shouldn't live to please anybody but ourselves. We have to make ourselves happy at the end of the day. And if you're happy with who you are, then be who you are.
I also feel like this, if you see somebody else getting bullied and you feel like they can't defend themselves, don't be afraid to, stand up for them, because there's a lot of people who can try to defend themselves, but you don't have the right tools if I'm wording it correctly. So, because I seen this when I was younger. I was sitting there right beside the bathroom wall, outside of it, and this little boy had showed his money that his mama gave him for lunch. And the sixth grader took his money and said, I'm getting me something to eat, you don't need it. And the little boy walked off. True story.
I've seen stuff like that. The story that I seen, though, was the school that I used to go to, we had special needs children in it. And one of these kids had Down syndrome. and I hear a bunch of kids in the hallway like calling him names, telling him that he should have just died at birth and stuff, just being really cruel to him. And I looked at him and I was like, do you guys realize what you're saying? I was like, do you realize that words hurt just as much as anything else? And then I told him, I said, think about this. In 20-something years, if you have a child that is born with Down syndrome, would you want kids to tell your kid the same stuff that you're saying to him right now? I was like, probably not. I was like, face it, the only reason you're making fun of him is because your parents didn't teach you that we all are not the same. There are different people out there. We're born with different colors. We're born with different religions. We're born different ways. We're born with different features. None of us are going to be the same. So why attack somebody just for being different?
True. And I might catch heat for this, but I feel like, a lot of these parents, you need to keep monitors on their children. And what I mean by that is, watch how they treat other people, because how the world is now. Like you can call the person on the street ugly, they can go kill themselves, and they won't give two shits. I feel like this world today is it's based on how people feel and they react more than what they think. So it's like I think the parents need to sit down with the children and say if they really care. Listen, this is not what you do to people, because they do have feelings just like you do. Well, just like we do. So it's like, why do something and it's gonna cause some feedback? Because not all people are the same.
We're all gonna have differences, but even through our differences, we all have to learn. People tell me that God created us all. Okay? Here's what I say. If we were all created to live the same path, to walk, talk, and act exactly the same, how boring would this world be?
True.
You have to have differences to keep the world an interesting place. If everything was the same, it would drive us mentally insane, like we couldn't deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, people are going to be different, but we shouldn't hate. We shouldn't discriminate on somebody just because of their differences. And I back you up on that. These parents, they do need to watch their children closely, because if a parent is sitting there and hears some of the stuff that comes out of their child's mouth, like say that they're at a restaurant one day and there's a person with Tourette's or any sort of disability, and then their child says something like, oh my God, what is wrong with them? They need help. Or just being rude in any way, that's when the parent needs to look at them and say, you ever say something like that again, you're going to get in trouble. They need to make a stand. They need to go, look, this man or this woman can't help the fact that they were born with this disease. It is not your place to judge them nor make fun of them.
Mm-hmm. I put it this way. I feel like if anybody with a disability has it, they're automatically my best friend, because I feel like that, I see them as like a human being. I see them normal, because I feel like that, a lot of people would pick on I won't say smaller, pick on people that are disabled because they think that, it's cool to do, and it's not really. There's a lot of times when I got bullied and I thought there was something wrong with me personally, because the way that I was picked on, the way that I was, there was times I didn't even want to go to school. There was times where I said, you know what, I'd be just
and I'll tell, for people that have been a victim of cyberbullying, I'll tell you this. Facebook, they try to get you to put all of your personal information on there. So for people that cyberbullying, or some people call it trolling, for people like that, this is what you need to do. If you have personal information about your life on there, you need to make it to where only your friends can see it. Or if it's like really personal, you need to set it to where only yourself can see it. Because if you expose yourself too much, they're only going to use the facts about you against you.
Like ammunition.
Like me. Yes, like me. The other day, I had some real life facts used against me because I didn't realize that I had it right there in the open. So you know what? I recognized it, and I went back and I was like, you know what? I'm not putting any personal stuff on Facebook anymore. Because it's a shame, though, that you have to do that because of people like that.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, I'm going to tell you guys something. Through my eyes, I don't see color. I don't see anybody as different. I see us all as a whole. And if I see someone getting attacked, you know, I'll step in and try to help them. And for somebody that was recently just a victim of cyberbullying myself, sometimes you just got to ignore them.
Mm-hmm.
I got cyberbullied simply because I posted a song and they didn't like it. But here's how I view it. They claim they didn't like it, but they took time out of their own day to post it and say how much they didn't like it.
It sounds like a supporter to me.
Right. And my friend told me the other day, you know, he told me, best line I've ever heard. He said, some of your critics will be the first ones at your shows buying your ticket. Buying a ticket to see you perform. And I was like, yeah, you're right. And that's the thing, though. Like, if I have any advice for people on Facebook, don't put your real stuff on Facebook because, like I said, cyberbullies are everywhere, trolls are everywhere, and they are looking for stuff to use against you just to make you feel this big. However, if they have no fuel, nothing to know about you personally, they can't use anything against you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like they know apparently that my music sucks, and they can say that over and over and over again. Or obviously they know about the gap in my teeth that they hated on. But they wouldn't still know anything personal about me to use against me. But I look at it like this. We're all human, and I've said it in multiple songs of mine. We all don't face the same struggles, but at the end of it all, we all feel the same exact type of pain. We all feel the same way. We all breathe the same way. We all bleed the same way. At the end of the day, we're all human. So why not stop hating each other and put enough effort like we do into hating each other? Stop using all the effort to hate and use it to start learning to love each other. Because I feel if the world had more love, you know, it wouldn't be such a devastating place like it is now.
Yeah.
And, you know, I know that these parents today, they're worried, like brand new parents, I'm meaning. Like, they have to be worried about when their child is going to go to school and being afraid of maybe them getting bullied and how they're going to talk to them about it and help them through it. I know that that's got to be a fear, and to me that isn't fair. A parent shouldn't have to worry about that.
They should just worry about their kids going to school coming out.
Right. And in my opinion, you know, schools need to start paying better attention. There are signs that kids are being bullied. If a kid's grades start dropping out of nowhere, there's something going on, whether it's at home or at school. So when a kid's grades are dropping, or if you see a kid in the hallway walking with their head down nonstop, or if you see them crying nonstop, or even if they're emotionless, just with their head down, just acting like they're empty, like they're distant from the world, pay attention to that because something is going on. And I feel like if more people would pay attention, then less people would kill themselves.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if more people would pay attention to the signs that are right there in front of them, less people would be dying. Less kids would be hurting. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
The schools, that's a school's job, you know? I get that you can't personally get to know every kid, and I'm not saying that. But try and pay a little bit more attention to your students. And obviously, a teacher's going to notice if a child's grades are slipping drastically out of nowhere.
Yeah.
They need to pull them aside, not announce it to the whole class, but pull them out and talk to them and say, hey, at this moment in the classroom, I'm your teacher, but at this moment, I'm going to be your friend. Tell me what is going on. That's what these kids need. They need somebody to talk to.
The one person that you don't know can be the one that help you out the most.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, y'all let us know.
You know,
yeah.
Go ahead.
No, you go on. Ladies first.
Well, I know I'm switching topics kind of, but bullying has become a huge problem. And then we got the heroin issue that's becoming a huge problem. It's just like, you know, when we're younger, we look at the world and it seems like we're sheltered. You know, it seems like our parents shelter us a lot. Mm-hmm. But as you get older and you start looking around, you're like, whoa, what is going on? You start thinking, you know, this is a place that I call home. Why are we acting like this? Why are we killing each other? Why are we putting each other down every day instead of lifting each other up? You start to wonder things like that.
I see it like this. I see like you in your nice house, everything's clean, nothing's dirty. You go out front and like buildings knocked down, houses all torn apart. You see like stuff on fire and stuff. That's how I see it. Cause like that's how I see the world is coming to.
It's just sad that this is happening, you know? So many killings, heroin, all the drugs that are surfacing all of a sudden. It's just crazy. And I get, you know, I can't sit here and say that I know what these addicts are feeling because I don't. But what makes me, I do know that a lot of people have told me it takes one time to get addicted to something like heroin. Just one time. Which I know that because of how potent it is and how strong it is. I do know that. But it's just sad because, like, in places around where I live, you could be walking around and just seeing people strung out. Like, it is so sad. And you want to help them, but you don't know what to do.
Yeah.
And it's just really crazy. So many people dying from that, too. It's like, what is going on?
Mm-hmm.
I heard that there was a strand of heroin, actually, that had elephant tranquilizer in it that has been currently sold on the streets. I don't know if you heard about this epidemic in Cincinnati, but yeah, and in northern Kentucky. They have been putting elephant tranquilizer in the heroin. And it's already made so many people overdose, and it's scary.
It's coming to a point where, you know, where's the world coming to? You know, all we got to do is, you know, we got to stop all the stuff that's going on, and all of us to come together. And, you know, people that watch my videos, yeah, they see me say it every day. We need to come together, you know, and stop all of this because, you know, with all this drama and all this, you know, destruction and stuff going on, all we doing is tearing each other apart. We're not coming together as a family and, you know, putting all this to an end. Like, what is going to solve us? You got to think of that at the end of the day.
People need to realize how many people are on the earth. How many people? Millions, right?
Trillions, probably.
Yeah. So if we all came together in a stand to make a positive change on how things are going, could you honestly think, could you see it now, the big impact that would have?
Yeah.
It is just ridiculous that it seems like people are crying out for help, and it just feels like nobody is listening.
Mm-hmm.
And it's crazy.
Mind-boggling. But everybody, go ahead.
It's just sad that, you know, somebody has to take their life because of what people
ignorance.
think about them.
But everybody, I want y'all to like, comment, and subscribe. Y'all let us know what y'all think about this topic. And y'all give us more topics in the comments below. Y'all can find Karma on our page at Karma. I will leave a link in the description below. I can't talk fast, so excuse my speech. But I'll see y'all later. Ain't that